Hi, I'm going to talk about the 4 different kinds of hypnotherapy. There are more, of course, probably, if you break them down, but 4 main ones that I'm going to talk about today. The first being the direct method. This is what people expect generally from hypnosis or hypnotherapy. They expect me to drop them into a trance and tell them what to do, and then they'll do it. If only it were so simple. Sometimes it is. With some clients, you can tell them virtually anything and they will respond. They expect to respond, they do, and that's all they need. They respond very quickly and comprehensively, and that's the occasional gift, but it hardly happens all the time. So that's the first type of hypnotherapy, and the one that I use the least. A, because it doesn't work very well for most people, if at all, and B, because it doesn't take care of the root, or at least you're not addressing it. It's very important to make sure there's nothing that is causing the problem that is still there, because if you take away the problem, the issue, the behavior, whatever it is, but you don't address the cause, then you could create greater problems or make it more difficult for somebody else to clear up the mess. So this is what I tend to use last, or as last resort. Secondly, there is probably my favorite, which is analytical hypnotherapy, which is taking things back to their cause, finding out when things happened, what caused them, and what the emotions were, and neutralizing the emotions, changing the client's perspective on it so it doesn't matter anymore, their attitude towards what happened, if it was something from the past, and also dealing with any bodily sensations. For example, if there's fear in the stomach or the throat or the chest, dealing with those so they don't bother people anymore. Then we come to what's generally the most popular, which is Ericksonian hypnotherapy. Milton Erickson was an American psychiatrist and hypnotherapist, and he was very experienced, very respected. He also had his own issues with pain from polio from childhood, and he had various quirks and eccentricities which made him develop his own method of doing things. And what that's generally considered to be is indirect hypnosis. Not only indirect hypnosis, but indirect suggestion. So rather than saying things directly, as in the first method, what you're doing is making veiled suggestions that accomplish the same thing and achieve relaxation, trance, all those kind of effects without the client necessarily being aware of them. And of course the great advantage of that is that you can bypass the client's defenses, it's probably not a good word, resistance, all that stuff, caution, let's say. And it's, for that reason, it can be very powerful. However, it is quite time consuming, and also you can't often tell what the result has been until the client comes back for the following session, which is for me a bit frustrating, and I can often do things much more efficiently, quickly, directly in other ways, which accomplish the result quicker. And then connected to Ericksonian therapy, there is metaphors, which are fables, stories, which have a connection with the client's problem. And under hypnosis, if you tell those stories with a successful outcome, it can be very therapeutic, very beneficial, very successful in helping a client deal with their issues. So those are the 4 major methods of hypnotherapy. I hope that's been enlightening, useful. Thank you for listening, and speak to you soon. All the best.